And so being deep into a book has been very difficult for me. And the great feedback that I've gotten from my novel is that it's not only easy to read, but extremely exciting and interesting at the same time. It will keep your
Yeah,
attention.
it's really great. You know, you're speaking about your book as well, When the Wind Blows. Tell us a bit about
Hmm.
that.
Ah, okay. Well, the inspiration came when I was working at a gift shop in this place called Shangri-La in Orange, Texas. And it was very boring there.
Yeah.
It's a botanical garden, hardly got any customers in the shop. So um, I decided just to write on paper just a little story for something to do. And that started to grow and to grow. Um, and plus my own personal garden with water
Mhm.
plants and dragonflies and frogs that would be attracted to the pond was an inspiration as well.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's where the inspiration for my book came. Plus, you'll find a lot of hints about who I am as a person throughout the text.
That's really interesting. And you know the names of the characters as well and names of locations. Are they inspired by
Yeah.
people you know or by your own experiences maybe, places you've been to?
Yes, yes. I've been in Texas for
Mhm.
7 years now. I'm originally from California, and as a little kid, I really enjoyed exploring the little creeks and rivers in California. And I did the same thing here in Texas, the bayous.
Mm.
Very different place. I've
Sounds
been
very
through.
exotic, definitely, especially when
Yeah,
you're
it
from the
is.
UK. It's very boring here for
It's
sure.
sub it's subtropical. I would kind of compare this area of Texas to the complete opposite stereotype of what people think Texas is. It's almost like the Amazon rainforest here.
Interesting.
And but I write about Louisiana,
Mhm.
which is very similar to the area I'm in Texas, because I'm right on the border. And um, I got on a tangent. What, can you repeat your question for me?
Sorry, no, it's okay. How did you come up with the names of the characters, or even
Oh,
yeah, and the names?
the names of the characters. Oh, okay. Well, Ma, of course,
Yeah.
is for me. Yeah, because I'm everyone's mom.
Aw.
Um, Here in the South, the mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers are called Ma or Mama or Pa or Papa, and that's where that came from. Um, and the one of the main characters, Tad, of course, is for tadpole, which is a pollywog. Um, I don't know. It's just some of the ideas just kind of come out of the blue
It's
for
interesting.
names.
Always to know like
Yeah.
how it's not easy to come up with creativity, that's for sure. And I think you've absolutely, you know, aced that. So how long did it take you to write the book?
I get this question all the time.
Yeah.
Um, I would say roughly about 5 years, and that's because
Mm-hmm.
my initial goal, I didn't have any goals. I was just writing for pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And so the main bulk of the book was written in about a year or two. But overall, the total about 5 years it took to get everything together.
That's impressive. And what are your future plans for The Wind Blows? Like, what would you
Hmm.
plan to do after? Like, will you be doing any kind of
Oh.
sequel to it or an adaptation?
Well, I'd love to go on tour, but you know how that's difficult nowadays.
Yeah, with the
Um,
pandemic.
I know, yeah. But I have started going out meeting people. And I'll tell you a little story. I went out last Sunday to the Louisiana uh, Welcome Center, which I sent you that video.
Hmm.
Cool place to go. But what I didn't put in the video was this woman that I met there, and she worked uh, the uh, at the center, and I said, she said, well, is there something I can help you with? And I said, no, but I can help you. She's like, hmm? And so I said, would you like to have one of my books? I'm an author. She goes, oh, yes, you know. And then she looked at the title, Love and Loss in the Eye of a Hurricane, the subtitle. And she started telling me about her husband and her son who died in COVID. And that just, that touched me right here, because we try not to think about those things,
Yeah,
you know.
it's a difficult
And
time.
and yes. And so even though my novel is very whimsical, it has a lot of depth in it too, to give you a feeling of hope through these characters. These characters really speak to your heart. But I am writing, it's not a sequel, I would call it a branch off of this book, and it's called Better Dead Than Never. And it's an action thriller about one of the characters.
Interesting.
And yes, and someone dies in every chapter, and you never know who
Wow.
it's going to be. Yes.
I do like them kind of
It's been,
genres, by the way. I like a crime thriller.
it is a crime thriller. Mm-hmm. It's the
Fantastic.
first time I've written something like that. And when I write very intense moments, my whole body goes, no, don't touch those keys on my, no.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel it all over my body. When I wrote about the storm, that was hard. And it's hard for me to read about the storm at the end of this book, because my whole body just goes into a state of pain and panic, and trying to get those words out is extremely difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. So how was your work schedule like when you're writing a new book? I can imagine, you know, I've always wanted to know how a routine is like of an author.
Oh,
So I'd love
well,
to know yours.
I'm not giving up my day. I'm not giving up my day job yet. I'm actually an English teacher
Yeah.
online, and so I just write when I get a break between classes or on the weekend. Yeah. So no
Yeah.
set routine. That would be nice though. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is really great. And where do you usually get your inspirations from when you're writing something?
Ah. Uh, from nature, mostly from
Nature.
nature. Yes,
Is
yes.
there a particular season you like the most when you're writing?
Good question. Well, not necessarily for writing, but my favorite season, I always say, is springtime, because that's when
Yeah,
everything's coming to life.
I agree. New beginnings, I like to think of it as.
Mm-hmm,
Have you ever
mm-hmm.
suffered from a
Yeah.
writer's block?
A little bit, and what I do to remedy that is that if I have a particular scene I need to write about and my brain is going I'll play music,
Ah, that gives you a bit of
or different kinds
inspiration.
of, yeah, different, like when I was writing about the storm,
Mm.
I listened to the sounds of hurricanes
Mm.
to describe what was going on. Yeah.
And that gives you
Also,
another.
what some people might not know is I have written music, and the
Yeah.
lyrics are in the novel too.
Oh, exciting. So you are very multi-talented, I have to say. You're a writer, you're also a teacher, and now you're a lyricist as well.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh,
I
that is
grew up in a
amazing.
musical family. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
where that
musical
comes from. Yeah.
family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's impressive. So you've always grown up with talent, I'd say.
Oh, yes, my mother is very creative. Extremely
Yeah.
creative. I guess that's where my creative bone comes from, I suppose.
No, that's amazing. And are there any particular kind of books you like to read? Like, what's your favorite genre?
You'll think this is funny. I like to read how-to books.
Really? Oh my God, this is the first time I've ever had. Because you know what? We really do need how-to stuff in our lives. Like how-to manuals
Mm-hmm.
are the most life-saving
Mm-hmm.
hacks. I don't care what videos there are, but how-to, we need them. that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever consider writing your own
So,
how-to, or have you already got your own how-to?
oh, I've done a lot of how-to garden videos on my YouTube channel. I did that for a lot of years.
That's good.
Yeah, how-to books, how-to magazines, how-to blogs, articles. I like to learn how to do things.
Yeah.
That's what I find interesting. Yeah.
No, that's impressive. And I'm very curious and nosy, you can say, but is there a particular font you like to write in, type in? More like,
Oh,
we all have our
hmm.
own favorite fonts.
Um, Probably Arial.
Mm-hmm. In particular
Yeah.
size?
11 or 12. Never had that question. Yeah, 11 or
No,
12.
but what's the funniest typo you've ever come across in your work? Or as a teacher, maybe?
The funniest typo. Oh my God. I, 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 I don't think I could say that online.
I called somebody a poor fork. I don't know how that came, but I called somebody a poor fork in a typo, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, that person must have been offended. I think I was going to say poor girl, and it ended up being poor fork. Yeah, trying to sympathize with someone, which clearly didn't happen properly.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So, well,
yeah.
yeah, most of the things that I have that are just kind of
Mm,
fun, not necessarily typos, but
mm.
when my students, they're learning English, will accidentally say a dirty word and not know it, and I
Oh.
start laughing. Yeah.
but, but who would you say is the most supportive person in your life when it comes to writing?
Oh, oh, I would say my husband, I think. Yeah,
Oh, oh no, that's really
yeah.
sweet. I think it's really great to always have that great support system in life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you have any
Yeah, he's a great
tips you
guy.
could share with those who are looking to start writing?
Oh, yeah. I would say just write from your heart, write what you know, and what makes a difference between just a good or okay novel compared to something that's captivating is to really get into your characters, write about their fears, write about their feelings, write about what they're seeing. Um, Now it gets really boring just saying
Mhm.
average details. She was wearing a red hat and black shoes and a red dress, and her hair was pulled up tight on her head. I mean, anyone could do that. But how was she feeling
I think
when you
that's a really
see
good
when
point.
you see this person in the story? Was she nervous? Was her mind talking to her? When I write, I always talk about what people are thinking because we always have that voice doing that in our heads. At least I do.
No, I think that's really good. As someone who really loves reading, it's always great to hear from the other end, from the point of view of a writer. How
Hmm.
they come up with things, and I
Mm-hmm.
do have, like I said, I'm obsessed with crime thrillers. I love reading books of Stephen
Oh.
King, James Patterson, and there's loads I can just go on. And I've always, like, especially pre-pandemic, I would do a lot of reading, especially when I was
Ah.
commuting. Back when I used to commute on the train, I would sit and read a book, and every week I used to finish a new book. That's how much reading I used to do, and also how long my journey was maybe during my commuting days. But obviously now we're all working from home, so we don't really get that experience. But I am trying to do a bit of reading at home now, in between my work. So,
That's cool.
but I really do love reading. But so how can our listeners keep up to date with you generally and follow your work? Are you active on any
Oh,
social media platforms or
yes.
websites they can see your work?
Yes. Yes. Well, my website's not ready yet, but you
Yeah,
can follow me on Instagram at Ma Shelley 62. It's
yeah.
SAGLLEY MA for Ma Shelley 62. Yeah.
Great. Well, it's definitely been really lovely speaking with you here on SG1 Radio
Thank
and
you.
learning about your work as well. And as I said, I love reading books, and I know a lot of my listeners really love reading as well. So to have a writer on the show to talk about your experiences has been so great. So thank you so much. And for myself and everyone at
Fantastic.
SG1 Radio, we definitely wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure, and take care. And I hope to speak to you soon.
Yeah. Oh, you will.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.